Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex, and thanks to E3, today I have a jumbo episode of deals for you all. This one, as always, I'm covering deals under $10 or your local currency, and I'm covering eShops in the US, Canada, UK, EU, and Australia. Now, before we do get started, a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, that is Red Deer Games. They asked me to tell you all about their current deals, so with that luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and let's get started. This one then, it's going to be quickfire, 25 games to kick us off, all new low prices, and at the end I'm going to round up just 6 more deals that match previous lows, but I really wanted to talk about them. So yeah, 31 games in total, probably going to lose my voice, but there's some solid deals at the moment, so I just had to kind of go deep dive with this one. So the Takeover at E3, they announced a physical release of this one with limited run games, and it is well deserved. Called often a copycat Streets of Rage 4 because it released right at the same time, that is not the case. It was in development for years. It deserves to be in Brawler fans' collections. Worthy, honestly, of just standing alongside its idols though, and 65% off. Fantastic deal. I'll link my full review down below along with any other reviews I've done from today's video. Wintermoor Tactics Club then is an absolute gem. It's set in a school. You all kind of watch over this group of high schoolers just trying to survive the day-to-day, but it's definitely a little bit of a strange universe. You kind of get dragged into a snowball tournament. The idea of this game, it's basically RPG exploration, visual novel story elements, but then turn-based tactics for the kind of snowball tournament itself. It's got a heavy fantasy theme then as well, think Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, but yeah, 50% off, that is a very good price. A short hike then is a small piece of genius. It was super cheap just to begin with, now it's rocking 25% off, absolutely more than worth it. It's simple enough stuff, honestly. You know, you explore this island on vacation, you climb the mountain that's kind of the centerpiece to this location. Along the way you get to meet the locals, you overcome personal struggle. It's a short, like, games, and then yeah, the name's not lying here, a short hike, but maybe 90 minutes in total, but it's a hell of a 90 minutes at that. Metro 2033 then and the sequel Last Light Redux, they are both on sale with 65% off in the US and Canada. Fantastic first person shooters, great ports, look absolutely incredible. You kind of find yourself in this post-apocalyptic world living in the underground battling mutants. The first is kind of more claustrophobic, the second it's more open areas. The real reason I want to touch on this one though, Last Light is 90% off in the UK, EU and Australia. You should just absolutely pick it up at this price. The pricing is insane. Thanks again then to Red Deer Games for sponsoring today's video. They have their own sale happening right now. They asked me to kind of highlight a few of the deals for games that I've played personally. So first up I've got Cyber Protocol. It's a cyberpunk puzzle game. You are a hacker and the idea here, control this square through a puzzle to find what is an exit. It starts simple enough but ramps very quickly over 100 levels. And the catch in the gameplay here, you don't stop moving until you collide with something after you choose, you know, a direction. The neon visuals though, I'm just a sucker for that, and it has a great synth soundtrack as well that you can even play standalone in the game. 80% off in the US and Canada, 90% off in the UK, EU and Australia. Alongside this then we do get Little Mouse's Encyclopedia with 35% off. This is exclusive for those of you in the UK, EU and Australia. This is going to be a good one for those with kids or those simply young at heart. It's a simple 2D kind of minor exploration adventure. You basically work your way through different locations, uncovering what is the local wildlife and fauna. Very chill game, minor gameplay, high on education, but I just love the visual style they are rocking. These visuals then they carry over to the next game, which is Under Leaves. Think the same concept almost, except here it's all about hidden object gameplay. This one then it's rocking 40% off. Now alongside these deals, can't say I've played the rest of them, but they have titles like Art School and Broad Chess on sale as well. So if you head over to the eShop, search Red Deer Games, all of the current offerings, they will show up for you and you can show them some love. I'll link that search as well in the pinned comment down below. Horror fans, Kholat with 66% off. This is an indie first-person horror experience. It's for sure kind of living alongside think Layers of Fear, but for me, this was elevated by a story that is narrated in part at least by Sean Bean. It's set around the true events of the Dyatlov Pass incident when 9 Russian hikers basically found mysterious deaths. Many theories have been discussed. This one approaches it from a supernatural angle, but I enjoyed it and it's definitely creepy stuff. Wick Hex then has 50% off. It's a game that I really enjoy. They took something all out action and somehow turned it into kind of a spin on, think, turn-based tactics. For me, outside of what I would call kind of weird looking character models, it definitely worked. I've seen a few comments from people saying it crashes. I cannot confirm whether that's been fixed now, but it never really impacted me, honestly. I think I had one during my entire run, but I had a blast with it. I went as far, honestly, as picking up the physical release as well. Klaus now then has a huge discount here with 80% off. I'd describe this as a Twitch platformer with a focus on story. You're out to understand basically who and where you are. Starts a little bit slow, but once it gets going, it embraces the weird, and that's really where it kind of pivots to being a very good experience. And it kind of delivers across the board. It's just this interesting kind of character study, I guess, especially the final few stages. That's when they really kind of go all out, but I enjoyed it once it got going, and I think fans of more, challenging platformers will definitely find something here to like. The Last Campfire then comes from the team behind No Man's Sky. This is just micro in scale in comparison, but it's about as charming as they come. It's a 3D puzzle exploration adventure, and the idea you're a lost ember trying to find their way home. Stunning visuals and audio. The only letdown when I reviewed this one, a favorable frame rate, which really wasn't necessary for a game like this. Great price though here with 50% off. Evergate then is a game that just, it seems, went overlooked on launch, which sucks because it's a great game. It ended up getting a permanent price drop first of all. Now it's gone as far as taking 30% off that as well. It's a puzzle platformer, not dissimilar honestly to the likes of Super Meat Boy, but nowhere near as challenging. The gimmick here is the Soul Flame. It allows you to slow down time and basically shoot to uncover secrets. I had a real blast with this one though, so hopefully it gets some love because I really do think it is deserved. Afterparty then is here from Night School Studio of Oxenfree fame. Here we are Milo and Lola, two best friends. They basically die, now you are in hell. Not ready for kind of this new reality, shall we say? You set out to find Satan to get home. To get this favour though, to get home, you've got to actually outdrink like Satan in a competition to regain entry. It's a point and click kind of style adventure, very adult with its tone. There's a whole lot of talking as well, but it's definitely a fun ride with 60% off, and the soundtrack is amazing as well. So no doubt I'm going to be buying more myself, but right now I've picked up 4 games under $10. Not really played them, so can't necessarily, recommend them as always. Maybe though you'll want to join me for the ride. The first one I'm getting is Time UFO. I meant to grab this one at release, I kind of failed. Never went back to it, I guess, but it's published by Nintendo. It for sure has their kind of charm and look to it, but it's a 2D puzzle game at moving and balancing objects, and I hear really great stuff about it. Then I got over the Alps. Reviews, they seem kind of okay with this one, but it's a narrative adventure. I just like the Alps setting they've gone for and the delivery, which seems to be postcards that lead to dialogue decisions. Kind of a little weird, and I'm absolutely fine with that. 50% off. It's just got cool visuals. I really like the idea of the concept. I'm hoping in execution it's as good as it sounds. My third pickup then was Heart&Slash. Literally, I grabbed this because, I'll be honest, I see it all the time in the eShop, and I just kind of love the thumbnail design. It's literally everything behind my buying decision here. I think reviews are very average for it, but it pens itself as a 3D brawler roguelike with a robot love story. It even has cel-shaded visuals that, on screenshots, they look real nice. So 80% off. If I hate it, I didn't at least lose too much. Finally, for my pickups then, Strife Veteran Edition, a classic first-person shooter, similar to Doom, Duke Nukem, retro goodness. Supposedly, though, it's incredible. It's getting a physical from Limited Run Games. In my LRG breakdown, though, if you watched that, I did say I wanted to check this one out, and yeah, the eShop gave me my chance near immediately with this 80% off. As I was saying, though, this is going to be a long video today as well. Look, this is kind of the midway point now, so definitely get comfy. Next up then, SuperEpic, The Entertainment Wars. Metroidvania fans, this one actually might be for you. I had some issues with it myself, which you'll see in my review. Somewhat kind of repetitive environments, maybe not quite as clever as it thinks in its story, but all in all, it's still a solid entry in the genre with a tongue-in-cheek kind of plot. It's all set around the media industry, microtransactions, all that good stuff. But look, 88% off, it makes the shortcomings at this point very easy to forgive. A stunning double pack now. This is Child of Light and Valiant Hearts with 75% off. These games, easy buy in my opinion. Child of Light is an RPG platformer. It's inspired by fairy tales. You're setting out to restore a kingdom. Soundtrack awesome as well. Valiant Hearts then is a take on war you don't see often, honestly. It's a narrative one tackling themes of love, sacrifice and tragedy, which is You know, a nice mix-up from the usual first-person shooter. Overall though as well, it's worth knowing both of these games' amazing visual style as well. Rock of Ages 2 then bigger and bolder. It's a tower defense mixed with marble-like gameplay one. It's definitely a unique combination. Defeat your opponent's castle though, or just kind of get to them by rolling into each other, but you'll be trying to slow each other down with all sorts of obstacles. That's kind of the tower defense side of the gameplay. Has a few frame rate issues for sure, but it's elevated in my eyes by its kind of Monty Python style and just attitude. I doubt it's going to get much cheaper than this though, so if you've had your eye on it, you know, maybe consider it at 70% off. RPG fans then, an underappreciated one here but shining resonance, Refrain. You need to save the world as always, you know, stop an empire from exploiting the power of ancient dragons. Pretty cool stuff. The best bit though, you can transform into a dragon yourself. It's just badass. And this one, it's action based combat, which I know a lot of people out there do look for. A good 30 hours of gameplay though here for 67% off, and that's just if you face the story alone. Now here's one I haven't seen in a while, but Sea Salt with 75% off. Reverse horror this one, meaning you are the monster controlling a horde to take over the world. Relatively simple in its gameplay and in idea, but think strategy based gameplay, but it's got this cool pixel style to it all. Its world is just fascinating as well. Good luck to humanity though here with all the units you do get access to. There's some really cool designs in here, they're absolutely gonna need it. EarthNight then is another one I haven't gotten to talk about in quite a while, but I really want to talk about it today because it's rocking 80% off. It's penned as a procedural platformer. I'm not sure on that description. What it actually translates to is endless runner on the back of dragons. Not a perfect game, but I really do like this genre. I like the presentation angle they took, and then they throw in enemies as well. It makes for some nice variety. A great one though, basically for, you know, those 5-minute sessions that you get here and there. Indivisible then tells the story of Anya. She's on a journey to avenge her father's death. Basically, she's also trying to learn about her powers. This one's an action RPG with combat that's very similar to, think, Fallen Legion if you've played that one, but then it even throws in some platforming as well. It's just got a ton of heart to it. The visuals are stunning, the voice acting, I love the 2D world, and yeah, I doubt we're really going to see it much lower than 75% off anytime soon. I actually think this is a complete steal. Lumines Remastered now, and I'd say watch a full review of this one just to get a full kind of grasp of the mechanics, but if you're a puzzle fan, this should be an insta buy at 60% off. We rarely see this on sale. It's block dropping action, there's 2 colours you match. Seems simple, really not, and the music, it all impacts the gameplay. Think here for music like house techno, that's kind of a good portion of it. Great stuff though, a remake of a classic, and this is another one I invested in the physical of, and I definitely do not regret that. Dust and Elysian Tale then wraps up the all-time lows with 50% off, and what a gem of a game this is. It's another one I invested in physically, but it's a Metroidvania with kind of a dash of RPG for good measure. When you look at this trailer though, there's no question it's absolutely stunning in motion. What makes this all the more impressive though, it was basically actually a one-man studio. Fantastic combat, great world, and just set out on this adventure to kind of reclaim your memory and then defeat this opposing force. Alright, so to wrap the video, then a few deals that are matching the all-time lows with a heavy focus here on Devolver Digital because they just crush creativity in gaming in my opinion, so I definitely want to highlight what they're doing. Make sure just to search Devolver in general as well, tons on offer. But the 4 I want to shout out today, we've got Hotline Miami Collection if you want some hard as nails, top-down shooter action with a twisted story and world, 75% off, that is good stuff. The Messenger then, this is half action platformer, half Metroidvania, right around that midway point. Has a real unique twist as it jumps between 8-bit visuals and 16-bit visuals as well. 50% off is more than worth it for a game that will most likely, I'd say, make many top lists of this generation for indies. Katana Zero then is a good option if you want a little bit more brain power with your action. This is all about strategy as you basically slow down time, figure out that path to take, and you've got to kind of kill the enemies in front of you. Be warned though, they can definitely kill you, and they will kill you with one hit on repeat. What makes this one stand out for me, it's the surprisingly good story and almost character development. Love this game, love it even more with 40% off, I just don't think you can go wrong. Finally for Devolver then, Ape Out with 50% off. Creativity is just all out on this one, from its unique but simplistic you know, stunning visual design, just look at it. And then the soundtrack, I picked it up on vinyl, I enjoyed it so much, and there's some serious creativity in how it all works and how it mimics the action on screen. Here though, you're an ape, you're on the run, you're trying to escape some sort of lab, and to escape you're basically going to just crush everybody that is in the room with you. Our penultimate game of the video then, that is To the Moon. It might look like a retro RPG, but do not be deceived, it's actually a narrative based adventure. It's about doctors who can fulfill your final wish. Beautiful story, it's got eternal sunshine of the spotless mind kind of vibes to it all. 30% off, I like to mention this one a lot, and it more than deserves the attention. The last game of the week then, finally we are here, that is Mo Astray, an underappreciated gem. This one, it's a side-scrolling action platformer with a dash of stealth as well. You awake though in some sort of kind of described lab, you're this blob-like life form and you'll be navigating a whole lot of kind of, I guess, mutated enemies. The graphics, incredible. The soundtrack just elevates it all though, and yeah, you're going to struggle to find a bad word against it. Buy it at 50% off, you will absolutely not regret it. And that is it, and there's still so much to cover. This is already my second E3 deals video of the week. I will tag that one down below in the pinned comment if you did miss it. A big shout out then again to Red Deer Games, who sponsored today's video. Helps out the channel tremendously, especially on the Twitch side of things, so do go check out their offers on the eShop when you do take a browse. I'll link kind of the search term down below again in that pinned comment as well. Now before we do wrap this video then, I know many like me have been experiencing issues with the eShop allowing you to download new games. Hopefully the update and the issue is going to be resolved soon, but for those that have asked about my experience, I've definitely had the issue, but I just kind of spam continue a few times and the downloads tend to start. I've had real good luck with it this far. With that then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.